What's up, y'all? It's Icon back again, here to review the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, coming fresh off of NYC Comic-Con 2019. It was a real good time. Check out for that video coming soon. But right now we're talking about WWE, talking about Hell in a Cell, so let's get right into it with the pre-show. So the first match was the grudge match, I guess you can call it, between Natalya and Lacey Evans. This has been a very quiet feud. And to be honest, I don't even remember how this feud even got started. But, you know, for a pre-show match, it was a good match. And surprisingly, Natty got the win. Usually, Natty's like the fall person for all the new up-and-coming superstars, but they let her get the victory this time. So I would assume that this feud is dead heading into the draft, and we'll see which side both ladies end up on come next week. So the first match of the night was the man Becky Lynch versus the Ball Sasha Banks. This was basically a TLC Hell in a Cell match. They used tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! And both of them pretty much like beat the living crap out of each other. You know, they used they used kendo sticks. They tied each other up. You know, Sasha used the kendo stick for the bank statement. You know, Becky Lynch, you know, used chairs. You know, the crowd was chanting, "We want tables." There was a spot where Becky had actually propped up a chair on top of 3 kendo sticks, put Sasha on it, and then jump kicked her into the cell itself, which the crowd went nuts over. But in the end, with the disarmer, after a Beck-sploder off the top rope, Sasha, she tried pulling the hair. You know, she tried to get the chair and it didn't work. She ended up tapping out. Why, I have no idea. And Becky Lynch retains the Raw Women's Championship. So this leaves those rumors of her potentially getting traded to SmackDown. This leaves those rumors, you know, just like that. It just leaves them as rumors, because if she's supposed to go to SmackDown, there's no reason why she should enter the draft with the Raw Women's title. But every time Sasha's won the Raw Women's Championship, when she was going back and forth with Charlotte, she always won the belt on a Raw. Sasha never won the title at a pay-per-view. She always beats Charlotte at Raw, and then Charlotte will get the belt back at a pay-per-view. So who knows? Maybe they have one more match tomorrow, and Sasha beats her tomorrow, and then Becky gets traded. Or she doesn't go to SmackDown at all, and that whole thing with her picture everywhere was just a hoax to trick the fans. But we'll see. So, but Becky Lynch gets this win, and we'll see if she keeps that belt going into Friday and all the way into next Monday. So the following match after that was Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus the bludgeon Wyatt family brothers, Harper. Like, I don't know what we're calling them anymore. For some reason, this was also a tornado tag match, and that wasn't announced until the very last possible second. And although this was a very interesting hardcore match, it seems like that's been the theme so far for the show. Let me just say that Botchamania in this match was completely running wild. In the beginning of the match, Harper hurts his leg when he took a dive from Daniel Bryan. Later on, Harper dove on Roman Reigns and banged his own face on the announce table. Roman Reigns spears Eric Rowan through the table, and it looked like Roman Reigns busted his knee. Daniel Bryan's back looks like raw chopped meat. You know, like, I can't tell if they were purposely trying to, like, beat the living crap out of each other on purpose, or was this just, like, them just going too hard and then mistakes was just happening. But it made for an entertaining match. You know, it's no secret. I mean, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns were extremely popular. Roman Reigns is the golden boy, so they weren't going to lose to the bludgeon Wyatt brothers. And you know, and with the Superman punch to the running knee, and then to the spear, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns pick up the victory over Harper and Rowan. So, I mean, I don't think this beef is over, but I don't know where it goes now. And then who knows if the draft will play a factor into that at all, too. So we'll just have to wait and see. So our following match was the match that was completely made up on the fly, on the random. On the kickoff, Randy Orton versus Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali was doing an interview. Randy Orton rolled up on him in the locker room because, hey, you know, Brock Lesnar's the champion now. Kofi Kingston's out of the picture. Orton has nothing to do, and he damn sure ain't challenging Brock. So he decided to, you know, pick a fight with Mustafa Ali. The two of them had a good match, a good wrestling match, good technical match. Towards the end, there was a moment where Randy Orton went for the RKO, and as he was bringing Mustafa Ali down to drive his face into the mat, I guess Orton kind of like let go prematurely. Ali got his hands on the mat and actually did a handstand to block the RKO, pinned Orton, and almost got the 3. But then, Orton kicked out. Mustafa Ali rolled out to the apron, and then he did his move where he likes to jump through like the second rope and then roll into a DDT. So he jumped through the second rope, rolled in, and when he went for the DDT, he ran into an actual RKO, which put his ass down. And then when Orton got the win, he even looked at Mustafa Ali, with a little like respect on his name for the fight that he put up and for blocking that RKO. So who knows, maybe this isn't done yet, and the two of them will have another match going forward. Maybe Ali gets a victory on Super SmackDown Friday nights. We don't know, but with the draft, anything's possible. So then we had the Women's Tag Team Championship match. That actually makes 4 women's matches on this pay-per-view tonight. The Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. This was a weird match. It was a good match, but a weird match because Alexa and Nikki were pretty much treated as the faces for this entire match. They were kind of getting the more cheers from the crowd. Asuka and Kairi Sane were kind of playing, especially Asuka. They were playing a little heelish, making gestures at the crowd. When they did the hot tag, it was actually Nikki Cross who got the hot version of the hot tag. And like I said, it just came across as though the Kabuki Warriors were the heels, which is very weird because Alexa Bliss is the ultimate heel. But towards the end of the match, Alexa Bliss took out Kairi Sane on the apron, and when the ref had his back turned, Nikki Cross went to go for a suplex or go for her finisher, and Asuka cheatingly, in cheating fashion, spit green mist into Nikki Cross's face and then kicked her, caught her with the crescent kick to knock her out, a la Tajiri, and, she picked up the victory, and the Kabuki Warriors are the new women's tag team champions, and even when it was over, after she spit the mist in her face, when the referee went for the count, the referee kind of paused for a second as to be like, what the hell is this green shit? And then Asuka was just looking at the ref like, count, motherfucker. There was a moment where, Kairi Sane had the pin, and the ref's back was turned, and then when the referee turned around again, Kairi Sane kind of pushed him as to say they were really being really aggressive heels. Alexa was confused as to why there was green slime all over Nikki Cross, but hey, it doesn't matter. We have new, SmackDown. We have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and for the two of them, it's about damn time. So another match that basically came out of thin air. Triple threat, 6-man tag team action, the OC with their new intro and theme music versus the Viking War Raider Experience, whatever the hell they're called, and what I thought was going to be Cedric Alexander, but I guess the Vince McMahon burying him rumors are true, and we seem to have moved on from Cedric Alexander, and they ended up having Braun Strowman as their tag team partner. Braun Strowman basically did his usual. There was a lot of commotion, a lot of chaos, and the melee happened, the 6-on-6 melee happened, which the referee ended up stopping the match. So the match, I guess, was thrown out. Nobody won. I don't think anybody won. And then after the match, Braun Strowman, quote-unquote, knocked out AJ Styles with a right hand, to call out Tyson Fury. And they said Tyson Fury is going to be on Raw tomorrow to address the situation directly. So, I guess we're going to get this at the Survivor Series, because they're not going to drag... I don't think they're going to make us wait till WrestleMania, but who knows? Maybe Tyson Fury will be like, I'll see you at WrestleMania, and then they'll just drag it on for them. But whatever. Like I said, they really didn't announce any of these matches, and storylines are changing, and then with the draft coming up, no storyline can really stick around. So at this point, I'm just whatever. Nice to see AJ Styles, and it's nice to see that the United States Championship even being shown at a pay-per-view. So for that, I'll take it as a good thing. Alright, so after that, again, another impromptu match. We have the King, Baron Corbin, versus Chad, don't call him short, Gable. Before the match, Corbin actually told everybody, as his royal decree, he told everybody to call him Shorty Gable, in which Baron Corbin couldn't help himself but to refer to him as Shorty Gable. And, after a nice, good technical wrestling affair, it's Chad Gable who actually picked up the victory. And after he picked up the victory, the announcer actually announced Gable the winner, but he called him Shorty Gable. And then when he said that, Michael Cole pretty much blew a gasket after that and saying that the ring announcer should be fired for disrespecting Chad Gable. And he almost he almost had an accident, which is pretty funny. But yeah, the king went down. Down goes Baron Corbin, and Chad Gable's picked up a victory. One can only assume that this beef isn't over yet, and both of them will probably end up on the same show as soon as the draft comes around this week. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I honestly didn't care, and the outcome pissed me off even more. Bayley versus Charlotte. Charlotte won. She has 10 reigns. No one cares. No one cared about Bayley being champion either. You know, at this point, I hope both of them end up on the same show so I know which segments to skip when they come on. So now we got Becky and Charlotte both with championships. Both of them aren't going to end up on SmackDown. When the draft comes, someone's losing a title. So maybe my prediction about Sasha taking the belt, like, best case scenario, Sasha takes the belt from Becky on Raw. Becky goes to SmackDown, she feuds with Charlotte, and then I can just ignore all these matches when they happen and just see what goes on with the Raw girls. But I'm over it at this point. Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins basically beat him with every single thing that was left under the ring from the women's Hell in a Cell match. He buried him under tables, ladders, and chairs, and he was hitting him, in the face and the head, and then the Fiend kept kicking out, and the fans started booing after a while because they were just like, nobody wants Seth Rollins to win. Like, everybody came to see the Fiend win the title in Hell in a Cell. The fans are chanting. Now the fans are chanting restart the match because the match ended in. I don't even know if it was a DQ. The referee basically just stopped the match because Seth Rollins hit the Fiend with a sledgehammer, and now all of a sudden hitting somebody with a sledgehammer, causes the referee to stop a match. It was a dumb way to not put the title on the Fiend, and they did a horrible job because they're hurting Seth Rollins because the people are actually turning on Seth Rollins. Because they're just letting him do too much. Kofi gets squashed in 2 seconds by Brock Lesnar, but Seth Rollins beats Brock Lesnar twice because he hits him in the nuts and he gets him 15 million stomps and a pedigree, and they're just making Seth Rollins look too strong, and the fans are over it at this point. They came to see a new champion. They didn't get it. They got a bullshit match, and it's the pay-per-view as a whole for me just wasn't that great. Especially if, you're trying to actually get eyes on your product, versus the AEW situation. And it's just like I said, it's just very disappointing. The only thing that was interesting for me for the night was, the Kabuki Warriors winning the tag titles was actually the only thing that was pretty cool. But the rest of, we didn't get Bobby Lashley or Lana, no middleweight. It's just bad. So, if I had to give it a grade, I'd give this pay-per-view a 5. So that was basically it. That was Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell. That was it. That was the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So, thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment, like, and or subscribe. Again, check out my Comic-Con video coming soon. We got some other DC content coming soon, some Street Fighter, some more reviews. And until next time, as always, I'm out this bitch. All of you forgive me. Right?